Welcome back, Vaidyas. Today we are decoding Charaka Sutrasthana chapter number 2, that is Apamarga Tanduli Adhyay. Let's set the context immediately. This chapter is not just about the herbs, it is the fundamental blueprint of Antar Parimarjan or internal purification. From an AIPGT perspective, this is a high yield chapter. Here is the reality check. Most students read this chapter casually because it's look like simple list. That is the fatal mistake. The examiner knows you will skip the drug list, so they target the specific anomalies, the drugs that don't seem to belong. For example, look at the seroviration group. You expect Pippali there, and it is, but Pippali Mool is excluded. Note that also catch the cross references. Pippali appears in both Seroviration as well as in Vaman group. Madanfal appears in the both Vaman as well as Asthapan. The biggest trap is Vacha. You instinctively associate Vacha with the head, that is Seroviration and intelligence, but it is the specific chapter. Acharya Charaka placed Vacha in the Virechan group. If you mark it as a Serovirechan based on general knowledge, you will going to lose the mark. Stick strictly to the text of chapter 2. Now moving the core of this chapter. The 28 Yavagu. Do not try to memorize them linearly from 1 to 28. This is inefficient. Group them by their main ingredient. Focus on the protein-based Yavagus because that's where the confusion lies. Remember, Varaha, that is pork, is for the Bruhan, that is weight gain, and Kshuddha Nashak is Godha. Godha or iguana meats for Kshuddha Nashak, destroying the excessive hunger. Examiner love to swap this ingredient in match the following question. Also, keep an eye on the contraindication. Yavagu is strictly prohibited in Grishma Rutu, Madatya and Urdhva Raktapitta. Question often frame clinically scenario around these prohibitions. Finally, don't ignore the philosophical definitions buried here. The definition of yukti, matra, kalashraya, yukti is the essential, the motto of this chapter. A physician with yukti is superior one with the just dravya jnana. So there is a final verdict for you. Stop reading the common drug name. Focus purely on the exception in the elimination group and memorize the specific ingredient in the Yavagu, especially the meat and Panchakola preparation. Master these specific points and you turn this chapter into the guaranteed scoring opportunity. Stay sharp, let's get to the ring. Hello students, let me jump on the next chapter, that is Apamarga Tanduli Adhyay from Charaka Samhita Sutrasthana chapter number 2. Here we have a slide. The name of the chapter is Apamarga Tanduli Adhyay. The purpose of this chapter, as we see in the first chapter, that is Dirghanjivati Adhyay, which is meant for having a Dirghayu. But for having Dirghayu, certain parts of the body must be very healthy. And the one of the part which is very important is the Shira. So it is essential for the head Shira to remain healthy. If the head is, that is the Uttamanga is the healthy, that is also called a Uttamanga, means here we have written Uttam means something fine, very fine, and Anga means the part of the body. So one of the part among the all the part of the body, the head is considered to be the one of the Uttam Anga, very chief organ of the body or chief Anga of the body. So considered as the Uttamanga, the best supreme organ, not only the Uttamanga, it's also called as the supreme organ, chief organ of the body. Naming logic, the Acharya Charaka started the chapter with the best Serovirechak drug called as the Apamarga. Okay, and that's why if you see this is the first slok of this chapter, it starts from Apamarga Tanduliyam. Apamarga Tanduliyam. Hence, the name of the chapter is named according to Apamarga Tanduliyam. So, Apamarga Tanduliyam is the one of the first ingredient of the Sirovirechaka Gana for the Nasya, and this Sirovirechaka Gana is going to keep your Uttamanga healthy, and that's why the name of the chapter is Apamarga Tanduliya Adhyay. Let's we jump on next slide. Meaning of this term apamarga tanduli. Tandula is the word used for the seed, bija. Okay, so appropriate meaning of this seed, the seed is capable of sprouting, which can germinate to a new plant that is have a potency. So Ankur Janana Samartham is Bijam. What is Bij? Ankur Janana Samartham. And Tanduli means just like a rice, just like a rice. So have you seen the rice seeds? Similarly, the Apamarga, this plant Apamarga has the seed. That's why it is called as a Tandula. Used in chapter the dehusk seed. What is the, this is very important part. Dehusk seed means tush rahit bij. Tush, that is mean, the tush means outer covering over this seed is called as a tush. Outer covering over this bij or tandul is called as a tush. Here we have to take tush rahit bij. Okay, in apamarga tanduliya, the tandul must be tush rahit, means outer covering must be removed. That apamarga is used. Scope, description of the internal purification drugs and antar parimarjan. Student, we have to fix one thing. There are three types of chikitsa mentioned in Samhita, and these are three types: antar parimarjan, bahir parimarjan, and shastra pranidhana. Antar parimarjan, the next one bahir parimarjan, okay, and the last one is the shastra pranidhana. So out of this chapter is basically related with the Antar Parimarjan Chikitsa. Antar Parimarjan Chikitsa means removing all the toxic substances or the disease causing substances from the body will lead to this chapter. So let's see what is this in this chapter. The classification of these drugs, Antar Parimarjan Chikitsa, basically divided in those four types. What are those? The first one is the Sirovirechan, that is head, that is the Shirovirechan evacuation, head evacuation, or we can say it is a Nasya. So, removing of all toxic substances from the head area is called Sirovirechan. The another one is the Vaman, that is MSS. So, removing the some waste product from the in the form of kapha, especially from the amashaya gata area. The next one is the virechan, that is removing the pitta, dushit pitta from the our adhu amashaya area or the pakvasha area. And the last one is the asthapan or anuvasan, which is also called as, we can say, the anima, but not exactly it is anima, because it has got very different structure from the anima. And asthapan anuvasan, which is will be used in the vat pradhan vyadhi. So these are the four basic classification given here, and the chapter classifies the drugs into four categories based on the elimination therapies. The next one is the Shirovirechak Dravya, the best drug. The in Shirovirechak Dravya, lots of drug had been mentioned, but the best Shirovirechak drug is the Apamarga. Okay, and hence the name of the chapter is start with the Apamarga Tandulya Adhyay. The parts used is the beej, that is seeds. It's a husk, removed seeds. Properties not described as having madhur or amlaras. The references are given in Charak Vimanasthan 8 and 151. So now, next slide, please. So, this is Sirovirechak Dravya. These are the some drugs which are mentioned in Sirovirechak Gana, Sirovirechak Dravya, chapter number 2. The first contain is the Apamarga Bija. After that, then there you can see the Pippali, Maricha, Vidanga, Shigru, Pilu, Ajagandha, Ajaji, Tumbaru, Sarshapa, and Ela, Harenuka, Prithvika is Prithvika is Badi Ilaichi, Sursa, Tulsi, Sweta, Kuteraka. Again, the various type of Tulsi, Faninjaka, Shiris Bija, and the Lasuna. One thing you have to keep in your mind. This is the another drug, that is Haridra Lavanadvayam, that is Saindhava and Kala Lavan are the mentions. Jyotishmati, Nagara, and Sunthi. You have seen just three slides, which includes all the drugs mentioned in the Shirovirechak Dran, but you have to be very much focused. There is a Pippali, but there is a no Pippali Moola in this Shirovirechak Dran. Pippali Mool is excluded from this list. Vacha and Jyotishmati, both Charak and Sushruta place Vacha and Jyotishmati in Shiro Virechak Gana. Keep this thing in mind. But in this Gana, here in Apamarga Tanduli Adhyay, Vacha is not mentioned. But here, the later on, they have mentioned in Charak in Vimanasthan, chapter number 8, and also Shruta mentioned them in 39/6 of Sutrasthan. So, yes, they mentioned it in the another chapter, but here there is a no vacha. Jyotishmati is there. Okay, here you can see the Jyotishmati here. Again, Trikatu, that is all three, the Pippali, Marich, Nagar are included. So this is another important point that has to be noted by you all. So Pippali Mool is excluded, Vacha is excluded, where Jyotishmati will be there. But Vacha had been included and Jyotishmati included in further groups in Charak Samhita with different reference. And Trikatu, the Pipali, Marich, and Nagara, all are included in this Gana. Okay. Chalo, next slide. What are the indications for Shirovichan? In what condition we should give? So the reference is in front of you, Charak Sutrasthan, chapter number 2/3/6, the Gaurave, Sirshe, Shule, and all and all. What are these Lakshanas here in front of you? Gaurava, there is heaviness in head, Sira, Shula, penis, rhinitis, or the early, there's a penis and pratishyay, the early pratishyay, and the later on it become penis. It's a kind of rhinitis. Ardhava Bhedak, that is hemicrania. Krimi Vyadhi, worm infestations. There are Shirogata worm infestation and Apasmara, that is epileptic episodes, Grananasha, loss of smell power, and the Pramohak, the fainting and confusion. So, because the Shira in Vagbhat might you have understand or studied, Nasa hi Sirodwaram, Ten Tadvyapya Hantitan, because the Nasa is considered to be the marg of the Shira. So, anything inserted in the Nasa must go to the Shira Marga. So, whenever you find any diseases related with the Shiro Marma or Shiro Vyadhi, you can use this method that is called as a Shiro Virechana. Next. Well, so next is the second procedure. We have done with the Nasya. Second is the Vaman Dravya MSS. Base drug is the Madan Phal in this criteria. It is also termed as somewhere as only Phala. Phala is written. Whenever in Samhita or anywhere just Phal is written, you have to consider Madan Phala. Okay. What is the indication and contraindication? Upasthita Sleshma Pitte. You must give the Vamana to the only those patients who have a Sleshma Pitta Pradhan Vyadhi, and it should be present in Amashaya. Okay, the site, the disease located in the Amashaya. So Amashaya Gata Sleshma Pitta Vyadhi, you give the Vamana. Okay, this is the condition here mentioned. Now Vaman Dravya listing. There are 10 drugs they had mentioned. What are those? The Madan, Madhuka. So you have to put and think about this. There's a Madhuk, the madhuk, and there's another madhuk. Here the ukar is bigger one and here the ukar is smaller. When the ukar is smaller one, this must be yashti madhu. Whereas when there is a madhuk, it is called as a moha, mahua. It's another plant, mahua. Moha या फिर mahua we can say when there's ukar is different. The another vamak dravya is nimba, jimutaka, krutavedhan. They are mentioned in this sthan with the kalpasthan. Sorry, kalpasthan they are mentioned jimutaka and krutavedhan. Pippali, yes, Pippali is one of the vamak vaman dravya. Kutaja, ikshvaku, ela, dhamargava. Further, shadvamak plus madhu Pippali Nimba. Shadvamak means these are the Shadvamak which are mentioned in the Kalpasthan. Along with that, Madhuk, Pippali, Nimba, and Ela. There are four more drugs are added in this Shadvamak Dravya. Along with the four other means Madhuk, Pippali, Nimba, and Ela are not mentioned in the Kalpasthan. So if you mix together, it will become 10 Dravyas which will form the Vaman Dravya listing. Okay. Now take the Virechan Dravya, that is purgation. Base drug is Trivrit. Also in Agra Sangha, Tivrutam, Virechanam. Virechan for the Virechan, Tivrit is a Sukh Virechananam. Sukh Virechananam, and Aragvad is mentioned as a Mrudu Virechananam Srishtam. Okay. Tivrut is mentioned as a Sukh Virechananam. Aragvad is mentioned as a Mrudu Virechananam Srishtam. The term used first use the word Virek or Virechana. Vireka or Virechana. What is indication? So the site, the disease located in the Pakvashay Gate Doshe, or according to, if we talk about Chakrapani, the Chakrapani has classified Amasha in two parts, that is Urdhva and Adha Amashaya. Okay, so Urdhva Amashaya is related basically with the cough, whereas the Adha Amashaya related with the Pitta. So this is the some classification, and especially here they mentioned Pakvashaya Gate Doshe. So if the disease or the doshas are in Pakvashaya Gata, and it must be Pitta Pradhana Pakvashaya Gata dosha or Pitta Kapha Pradhan, we can use the Virechan. Okay, next. Now, these are the some listing of Virechan Dravya. The first one is the Trivrut, Triphala, Danti, Nilini, Saptala, Vacha. Note, the Charak has included Vacha in Virechan Gana, whereas normally we understand Vacha must be included in the Shiro Virechak Gana, but it is not here in this case. The Vacha is included in the Virechan Gan as compared to the Shiro Virechak Gan. Along with that, there is a Kampillak and Gavakshi. The Gavakshi, that is Indrayana. Okay, Kampillak and Gavakshi. Next. Now Virechan Dravya, this is list 2. They are more Virechan Dravya. This is Kshirani, Dugdikar, Swaranakshiri. Swaranakshiri. This is the Argimona mexicana that we call as Swaranakshiri, Argimona mexicana. It's one of the strong Virechak Dravya. Another one is Udakiriya. Udakiriya. Udakiriya is the another Virechan Gan. There is a Pilu, Aragvada. Okay. Then there is a Draksha. Draksha means resins. Okay. One of the Sreshta Phalagana mein. It is Sresht in Phalagana. Okay. Dravanti and Nichula, that is Samudra Phala. So summarized, if we summarize this, all thing contains drug from Navavirechan. In Kalpasthan, there is mentioned is a Navavirechan, means 9 types of Virechan. That is Tirut, Aragvat, Saptala, Danti, Dravanti, etc. So they contains the Navadravya in mentioned in already mentioned in Siddhisthan. Okay. Kalpasthan, sorry, Kalpasthan. So here we are going to do this. This is the listing. You have to keep certain things like this. This is something extra drug. It is in Virechan Gana. It is mentioned along with some other drug like Kampillak. Kampillak is not mentioned in Virechan Gana. Vacha is not mentioned. So you have to take this in considerations. Now the Asthapana. Vayasya Asthapanam iti sthapanam. Asthapan basti or Niruha basti. So Asthapan, because it sthapayati the Vaya means age. That's why it is called Asthapan basti. What are the base drug used is the Patala. Keep this thing mark, it is important, or star mark. The Patala is the base drug. What are the indication? Udavarte vibandhe. Udavarte vibandhe. Udavarte, when the Apan Vayu unable to go Anulom Gati because of some Avarod or Vegadharana, the Apan Vayu then get reciprocated in up direction and it become Udavarta. And another is Vibandha, that is called as a constipation. So Mal Vibandha. What is the action? Yunjat Asthapaneshu. Use decoction or enema. So the decoction wala enema, that is called as a Niruha or Asthapana. We must use in this condition. So the dosh must be in Pakvasha and Vat Pradhan Avastha. Next. Patala, if you see the about Patala, there are some properties. So this is the diagram about Patala. You can see here the purple flowers. The botanical family name is Bignoniaceae. Bignoniaceae is the name, and the very Latin name is Stereospermum suavilans. And the synonyms we can see here, the 6 synonyms had been given: the Tamra Pushpi, Amogha, Kuberakshi, Ambuvasini, Alivallabha, and Madhuduti. These are the 6 names given for the Patala, and here we have a picture of the Patala. Just see and keep this thing in your mind. Now, Asthapan Dravya list are the first one is the Patala. This is the one of the content from the Dashmul group. From Dashmul group, this is the Patla, Agni Mantha, especially, yes, Panchamul, Bruhat Panchamul, Patla, Agni Mantha, Bilva, Shonak, and Kashmari. These are the main ingredient of Bruhat Panchamul. After that, Shaliparni, Krishnaparni, Nidiktika, Kantakari, and Gokshura. Okay, Shaliparni, Krishnaparni, Nidiktika, Kantakari, or that Nidigdika is also called as Kantakari, Swadamshta, Gokshur, and Brihati. So 2, 2, and this 5. So these are called as a Laghu Panchmul, and together this Bruhat and Laghu Panchmul forms the Dashmul. This is the Dasmul is considered as the one of the content of Asthapanigan. Along with that, there is Eranda, Punarnava, Yava, Kulatha, Kola. So these are the triads actually. You are going to see this triad Yavakol Kulatha in all kind of most of the time Vat Pradhan. Whenever there's a Anuvasan or Niruh means Anuvasan Tel when we make, or Niruh Basti when we make in Vat Pradhan Avastha, Yavakol Kulatha is going to be seen. These are the triad, they are going to be together. Yavakol Kulatha. Along with we can see the Guruchi, Madanfal, Palash, and Gandhatrun. You have to pay attention. This Madanfal must be in both, means Asthapan Gan as well as Vamak Gan. Asthapan Gan as well as Vamak Gan. It will be there both. Asthapan plus Vamak. Okay, the Madanfal. So good thing. The Palas and the last one is the Gandhatruna. Next. Now the some cross references. Let me see that I had already discussed. So Pippali described in both the Shiro Virechan as well as Vamana. Pippali is in both Shiro Virechan as well as in Vamagana, and Trifala is only in Virechana. It is none other than some other one except the Virechagana. If you see the Madanfal, as I told you in last slide, it is both in Vaman as well as Asthapana, whereas Dasmul is only used in the Asthapana Gana. So these are the very two star point. Keep this thing in mind. And these are the common drug which are used in multiple ganas. Okay. Next. Now Panchakarma rules. What are the rules? Panchakarmani kurvita matra kalo vicharayan. This referencing may be asked for the question. They will put the shlok and they will ask in which adhyay this shlok is related. The first mention, the word first time Panchakarma in Charaka comes in Charak Sutrasthana chapter number 2. For the first time in whole Charak Samhita, the word Panchakarma comes here. The Charak Sutrasthana chapter number 2. Name of the chapter is Apamarga Tanduli Adhyay. Keep this thing in mind. The prerequisites are the Matra, Kala, Snehana, Svedana. So if in a patient, if we do first Snehana, then Svedana, and because of Snehana and Svedana, all the doshas get pakva. Pachan Dipan is done very well, and the doshas are upasthit. Upasthit dosha means Utklishta doshaha. Utklishta doshaha means the doshas are about to go outside the body, and a physician must think about the matra as well as the kal of the patient as well as the vyadhi and the rutu kal. Then the panchakarma shows samyak yoga. Everything happens very well. So you have to be very focused. Matra kalo vicharayan. Panchakarmani kurvita matra kalo vicharayan. Next. Why matra kal vicharayan? Because the matra and kal ashraya yukti. The yukti vipasha chikitsa. In yukti vipasha chikitsa, the yukti depend upon matra and kala. Ashrita bhuta. So yukti depends upon matra and kala. Yukti purvak, you have to use yukti. And so the concept is yukti. The proper planning depends on matra and kala. Okay. So superiority, siddhi. If you want to success, the success, the siddhi is established in yukti, and yuktidnya vaidya, a vaidya which is yuktidnya, who uses yukti to do the treatment of the patient, knower of planning, is always superior to a vaidya who only has dravya jnana, knowledge of drugs. So you have to keep knowledge of drug, and you have to use those drug with matra and kala. Then and only you will get succeeded in the treatment. Okay, so yuktidnya, a Vaidya is Yuktidnya, then he will get success when he knows the Dravya Gyan. So you firstly knows Dravya Gyan as a Vaidya. So a Vaidya must know Dravya Gyan and then use Yukti, and you will get Siddhi. Siddhi means success. Success. Okay. Success in treatment. Next. Yavagu. From here onwards, the new adhikaran starts, and this Yavagu portion, and Yavagu is the something is the Anna Kalpana. Yavagu is a Anna Kalpana, or it is also called as a Krutanna Varga. It is in Charak Sutrasthan, 27th number chapter. Here it is mentioned as a 28th chapter. Krutanna Varga, they have references Krutanna Varga, Yavagu. Total number of Yavagu mentioned in Charak Sutrasthan chapter number 2 is 28. Let me break down. There are only 22 Yavagu and 6 are Peya. So how Yavagu and Peya are different, we'll let you know. Okay. So indication, useful in Sadhya Roga. So actually Charaka has taken a pledge that all over his full Samhita, he is not going to explain anything about Asadhya Vyadhi. He is only going to explain Sadhya Vyadhi. So indication is useful in only the curable diseases. Purpose. What is purpose? Description of dietary preparations. So this is Krutanna Varga. That's why I told you it is a Krutanna Varga called as a dietary preparation for the disease. In a disease condition, you cannot give the normal food, and hence you have to use this Anna Kalpana or Krutanna Varga, and one of them is a Yavagu. Total 28 Yavagu are mentioned. Out of this, 22 are Yavagu and 6 are Peya. Okay. Now next, yes, how Yavagu preparation rules are there according to different Samhita. The water ratio means one part is the rice, okay, tandula, and another part is the water. So in different acharya, the water content is changed, it's variable. So if you see the Sharangdhara, it's one of the ideal method. One part rice and 6 part of water mixed together and boil it properly, it become Yavagu. Where Sushruta also says same, he says Yavagu 1:6 ratio. Kashyapa 10, 15 or 20 times of water can be added. So depend upon, if you add less amount of water, it will become more thick. More amount of water, it will become more thin, means the watery content will be more. Whereas in Peya is more watery condition. It has 14 times water. Keep this thing in mind. Yavagu has 1:6 and Peya has 1:14. Okay, next. Contraindication and durations. Yavagu should not be given or prohibited in certain condition. First of all, Grishma Rutu, Urdhva Rakta Pitta, Madatya, Kapha Pitta Vyadhi, and duration in Jwara, that is fever, Yavagu is given after 6 days. Where it is mentioned, yes, this is the extra point mentioned in Jwara Chikitsa, means Charak Chikitsa, Charak Chikitsa, chapter number 3. If we seen, if you or you remember the Chikitsa Sutra of Jwara, Langhanam Svedanam Kalo, Yavagu Tiktako Rasa, Yavagvo Tiktako Rasa. So Tikta Rasa and Yavagu are used. So from there, these references are taken. Okay. Next. Yavagu in pregnancy, comparison of views. Charaka gives these are the extra points, okay? They are not from the Sutrasthana chapter 2. These are extra point along with you have to take. So given in the 8th month, according to Charaka explains that Yavagu must be given in the 8th month, where Sushruta says that it must be given in the 6th month. When we say the Garbhini Ahara, so here they mentioned in Yavagu in 8th month, where Sushruta explained on 6th month. Sushruta also says during the process of delivery, there is a stage called as a Prajanishyamana. Prajanishyamana, about to deliver a lady, when a lady about to deliver a baby. So in that, you have to drink, that lady has to drink Akantha Yavagu Pana, means till throat. Means enough amount of Yavagu she has to drink. That is in the Prajanishyamana. That's one of the stage of the labor. Bhadrakapya, contraindicated. Bhadrakapya, contraindicated Yavagu during the Prajanishyamana avastha. If consumed, the fetus, that is the Garva, get the Pangalava. What is mean by Pangalatva? Pangalatva means discolored or yellowish eyes. Yellowish eyes. Pangalitva. Okay. So according to Bhadrakapya, it is contraindicated, where Sushruta mentioned in Prajanishyamana, Akantha Yavagupan must be done. Next is classification of 28 Yavagu. So the first classification is mostly goes for digestion and colicky pain related to abdominal digestion. They are four in number. Second one is related to diarrhea and dysentery, that is atisara, and they are four in number. The third one is the elimination or cleansing purposes. There are four in number. Another specific disease like fever, respiratory throat, and all things, they are also foreign. So there are four. There are 16s. And then metabolic or emaciation, if the person is either very fatty or very lean, there are three types of Yavagu is taken. So again three. If related with the poison and urinary disease, there are two. Psychological like intoxication, hunger, pain, and there are four. And right related to sexual organs or the reproductions, they are three. So if you calculate those total, it will become 28 Yavagus. Okay. Next, let me see the group one, the four types of different Yavagu. The first one is the Deepaniya, Agani Deepaniya, Udar Shulaghniya for Amvat. They are used in Amvat. So this is called as Amvat in Deepaniya Shulaghniya Yavagu. What are the ingredient? If you see the ingredient, Pippali Moola Chavya Chitraka Nagar. Basically, it is Panchakola. Basically, it is Panchakola and it is used as a Deepani and Shulagniya Vagu. On this side, if you see the second one, this is Pachaniya and Grahaniya. Pachaniya, Grahaniya. Pachan means Am Pachan as well as Grahana. So, if you see the content according to name, there is a Daditha, Bilva, Changeri, Takra, and Dadima. Daditha, Bilva, Changeri, Takra, and Dadim. These all are responsible for Pachan and Grahana. So this is the second. Then there is another group, Pakvashaya Shulagni. Pakvashaya Shulagni. So Yamake Madira Siddha. Yamake Madira Siddha Yavagu. Yamak means when two types of sneha brought together, they are called as a Yamaka. When three are brought together, are called as a Trivirta. When four sneha brought together, are called as a Mahat Sneha. So here the Yamak Sneha is used and it is called as a Yamake Madira Siddha. Okay. Here the Bhedani Yavagu. So Bhedani, it must be strong, the name suggests. So what? See the content: Hingu, Chitra, Kshar, and the Amlavetas. Amlavetas, and that's why it is a Bhedini type of Yavagu. Next. Okay. So you have to just remember it and keep the logic behind what is the content, what is the expected, and what are the drugs used. Okay. Now the group 2, that is diarrhea or atisar related. So Vata Atisar, normally the Laghu Panchamul Peya is used. Laghu Panchamul and another Pitta Sleshma Atisar. What is Laghu Panchamul? So this is the Shalaparni, Prishnaparni, and Bala, Bilva, Dadim, and Amla Dravyas are used. And it is so Laghu Panchamul ingredients are basically are there. Saliparni, Bala, Bilva, Prishnaparni, Dadim, Amla. So in the case of Pitta Sleshma Atisara, the ingredient are the Shalparni, Bala, Bilva, Prishnaparni, Dadim, and Amla Rasadravyas are there. These are the main ingredient. Which of them is mostly related with the Laghu Panchamul, the Shalparni and Prishnaparni, Bala, Bilva, Dadim, Amla. So Raktatisara, the main ingredient is Pasya Ardhodaka Chagaha. Goat milk with the half of water is mixed together and then the Yavagu is made. Along with that, there are Riber, Utpal, and Nagara. These are the Shita Dravya because the content is the Raktati Sleshma Raktatisara. You want a Pitta Sleshma Atisara. There is a Pitta as well as a Sleshma. So you need both at the time. Along with there is a Amatisara. Ingredient are the, if you see the Amatisar, you need Deepan Pachana. So here they used Ati Visha, Amla, and Nagara. So whenever the word Nagar comes, it is Suntha. Okay, it is a Suntha. It is used for basically for digestional purpose and Nagar. It is not Nagar Motha, Musta. Somewhere in North India, they use Nagar word as a Nagar Musta or Musta. So it is not Nagar Musta, it's a Suntha. It is a Suntha. So if you see the mnemonics, cricket theme is there. Laghu Dravid plays defensive, means Vataja, Bala, blow, balls, spin, Pitta Kafa, Gota, Chags, stops run out, and that is Rakta, and Ati hits 6, that is Amaha. So again, I'm saying this mnemonics are we have made according to the content, which will be more feasible to this content. You can make some different also. Now, group 3, this is elimination or for the cleansing purpose. The first one is the Vata Lomini Yavagu. Vatanu Lomini Yavagu. What are the content? So, Abhaya, Pipali Mula, and Vishwa Bheshaja. So, Nagar means again the Suntha. The Suntha, here the new name is given Vishwa Bheshajam. Vishwa Bheshajam Nagara. So, this is Vatanu Lomini. Vatalu Lomini, Abhaya, Pipali Mula, and Vishwa Bhesaj. Here the Sangrahik or Grahi Yavagu. And here, if you say the Kashaya Rasa are the most, Jambu, Amrasthi, Dadhitha, Bilva, and Amla Dravyas are used. Okay, so Jambu, Amrasthi, Dadhitha, Bilva, and hence if there is a Kashaya Rasatmak Dravya are more, it will be Sangrahik or Grahi Yavagu. Here, the Rechak Yavagu. Ingredients are Shaka, Mausa, Tila, Masha. Siddha Varcho Nirasyati. Siddha Varcho means when the Yavagu Siddha with the Shaka, Mausa, and Tila and Masha, then the Varcha Nirasyati means the if you want to remove the constipational means Rechaka, you have to use this type of Yavagu. Another for the Snehan Artha means Snehan internally you want to sneha, you what you use sarpishmati. Sarpishmati means plenty of, sarpishmati means ghee, ghee. Okay, sarpishmati, bahutila along with the tila, bahutila, and lavananvitam. If you make yavagu with the sarpi means ghee, tila, and lavananvitam, plenty of sesamum oil and sesamum and salt, and sarpi means ghee, then it will be used for internal oleation or internal snehan. The next group 4, the specific disease oriented. The first one, if you take the kasa, hikka, and swasa, the simple content is this dashmula. Simple content is the dashmula. You can use dashmula directly in this case. Okay. The kantharoga, yava, yamaka, pippali, and amalaki. So yava, yamak, yamak again I am saying it's a two sneha dravya brain brought together are called as a yamaka sneha. Three sneha dravya brought together are called as a trivruta, and when four sneha brought together are called as a mahat sneha. Okay, so yava, yamaka, pippali, and amlaki is used for the kantha roga. Now, here is a Vishama Jwara Nashaka. Vishama Jwara Nasak, Vishamo Vishamarangha, Kriya Kalo Anusangavan. Vishamo Vishamarambha, Kriya Kalo Anusangavan. Intermittent fever, when the jwar comes and goes. We say the means in a day times, like what are those? Santata Satat Anne Dustrutyaka Chaturthako, those jwar are called as a Vishama Jwardas. So, in that time, you have to siddha which type of Yavagu? Gavya Maunsa Rasa plus Amla Ras Dravya Siddha Yavagu you must have to use in the case of Vishamajvara. Also, for the Rukshanartha, you want dryness. There is a more of oleation in the body and you want dryness. At that time, use the Shamaka. Shamaka is one of the Trunadhanya along with the Kusha and Amalaka, that is Avla. So when you use this thing, Shamaka, Kusha, and Amalaka, it will be used as the Rukshanartha Yavagu. Next. So group 5, this is metabolism, weight related. The Karshaniyam Yavagu, Gavedukannam. So actually in Agra Sangraha, Gavedukannam is Karshaniyanam. Gavedukannam, Karshaniyanam. So when you used Gaveduka along with the Samakshika means honey, then definitely it will be act as a Karshaniya Yavagu. You will lose weight. You will lose weight. Kshudha Nasak, a person having more and more Kshudha means there is a disease named as a bhasmak because of more pitta and vat pradhanavastha, pitta vat pradhanavastha. In that case, if you make yavagu made up of godha is the garden lizard we can say, or komodo dragon. We use the word komodo dragon, guiana meat plus kshira plus apamarga. So apamarga tandul and godha and kshira. If you make yavagu with this thing, definitely it is going to be help in Shudha Nasak means this Yavagu will be anti-hunger. Now, if you use the Varaha Mamsa, it is Bruhani Yavagu. Varaha means pig. Okay, pig. So pig mouse soup or Yavagu will be going to help you. Bruhani Yavagu. Okay, here if you want to lose weight, use this. Means Karshani Yavagu. If you want to gain the weight, use Varaha Mamsa Yavagu. And if you want to kill your hunger, use this middle one. So we have seen three non-vegetarian Yavagu types of. The last one is the Vishamajwara Nashak, that is Go, means Go Mamsa Yavagu. Here it is ingredients are the Godha with the Ksudha Nashak Yavagu, and here Varaha Mams is there. So it is going to be for gaining the weight, Bruhani Yavagu. Now, group 6, that is urine and poison related problems, it has. The first one is the Mutra Krucha Hara Yavagu. What are the ingredient? Here the ingredient is the very important ingredient. Swadamshra means Gokshur, Kantakari and Fanit. The Fanit is mostly used in Basti Shodhak Dravya. Fanit is the Basti Sodhak Dravya. Kantakari is the same. Kantakari also helps in the Basti Shodhan, and Swadanshra, the Gokshur, about Gokshur you all know. So in the case of Putra Krucha, if you siddha this Yavagu with these drugs, then definitely this problem will solve. Another one is the Vishaghani Yavagu, that is antipoisonic. The only two contents are there, the Somaraji and the Bakuchi. Somaraji and Bakuchi, these both drugs along with the Yavagu, if you treat the Yavagu with these drugs, your Yavagu will become Vishagani, Vishnashaka. Next. So if someone has psychological miscellaneous something, so Madhara, Madha means it is related to anti-intoxication. Madha means sedation kind of thing. So Upodika is the shaka along with the dadhi, that is curd. If you mix this both thing and make a yavagu, definitely it is going to lose the Upodika siddha, dadhi siddha is the madhara, sedation, loss of sedation. So it removes the sedation. Another is Ghrut Vyapada Nashini. So in a case of patient, when we do the Snehan Chikitsa, and suppose for a patient we did more of Snehan, it is called as there's a Ghrut Vyapat. There's a avastha called as a Sneha Vyapat, and because of Ghrut, it is called a Ghrut Vyapat Nashini. So what you have to do, only you have to do Takra Siddha Yavagu. Takra Siddha Yavagu. Takra is the buttermilk. You have to Siddha your Avagu with the Takra. Definitely it will remove the Ghrut Vyapata. Another is the Taila Vyapata Nashini. So here it was Ghruta and here it is Tela Vyapata Nashini. So here you used along not only Takra, along with the Takra there must be Pinyaka. Along with the Takra there must be Pinyaka. So Takra and Pinyak both together. What is Pinyak? Pinyak is none other than, it is something Tilapishta. Tilapishta is called as a Pinyak. Okay. So oil cake or tilapinda. So along takra and pinyak, when you use it is going to Taila Vyapada Nashini. Taila Vyapada Nashini. Here Krumigni Yavagu. Water content takra, vidanga, shigru, maricha and pippali mula. Total almost 6 contents are there. Takra, Vidanga, Pippali Mula, Shigru and Maricha. Leave about other two drugs, but when you focus Vidanga, Shigru and Maricha, they are completely Krumigna Dravya. So think about this drug and they are dewormification or Krumigni Yavagu is used. Next. So again, group 8, that is reproductive and pain related. So Reto Marga Rujavaha. Reto Marga means Sukravaha Sotas. Reto Marga means Sukravaha Srotas Marga, and Shishna Pida means there is a pain in penile area or sexual organs. So in that you use Tamra Chuda, the cock. Okay, Tamra Chuda Rasa. So you have to say Siddha Tamra Chuda Rasa Mouse Rasa with the Yavagu. It is going to remove the Reto Marga Rujapaha. Reto Marga Rujapaha. And for aphrodisiac means Vajikarana. Vajikarana. What you have to use? Ghruta Kshira Masa Vidalaha. Ghruta Masa Kshira vidalaha. So when you are going to vidala means which dal means like split grams when you're going to use along with the mash and Kshir and Ghrut, it is going to be used for Vajikaran purpose. Vajikaran purpose. Okay. Vajikaran purpose means increases Shukra or help in ration of Shukra. Basically, Vajikaran Dravyas are two type. One is the Shukra Vridhikara. This is extra point from Rajikaran and Rasayan Chikitsa. And one of the another type of Vajikaran drugs are Shukra Rechanakara drugs are there. There are two types of Vajikaran Aushadhi, Shukra Vridhikara and Shukra Rechankara. I think this type of combination or Yavagu helps in both conditions. Trushna Samak, the last one is the Trushna Samak, that removes the thirst. The contents are Madhvika, Sariva, Laja, Pippali, Madhu, and Nagara, Suntha. So when we use these contents, they are Laja, especially Laja, Sariva, and Madhvika. So Mridvika, these are it's a Mridvika. It's a Mridvika means grapes. It's a grapes. Mridvika. Okay, Mridvika. So this can be used. Mridvika, Sariva, these are Shita Dravya. Okay, so Shita Dravya along can be used with the Trushna Samak Yavagu. Okay. Next, the summary of key ingredients. Let me compare this all the things. So Panchakala Siddha Yavagu is Deepani Yavagu. I have not selected all of them. I have taken some few of them. Panchakala Siddha Yavagu is a Deepani Yavagu. Dasamula Siddha Yavagu is Swasa Kasahar Yavagu. Gokshur and Kantakari used in the Mutral Vyadhi, no, Gokshur Kantakari Siddha Yavagu. Pippali Amalaki is going to treat your Kanthaj Vyadhi. Upodika. If Upodika goes for the mother, that is sedation related problems. And if the Godha and Apamarga, one of the non-vegetarian Yavagu is Kshudha Nashana. Okay. And okay, so here we almost got all of them, and now qualification of Vaidya. Smrutiman Hetu Yuktidno. Smrutiman. A Vaidya must be Smrutiman. Smrutiman having lots of memory because of its previous doing Panchakarma, therapy, Chikitsa. He must be Smrutiman. Hetu Yuktidno. What is the role of Hetu? And Yuktigno must know the Yukti Chikitsa. Physician must possess five qualities: Smritiman, Hetudnya, Yuktidnya, Jitendriya, and Pratipattimanam. What is mean by that? So Smritiman having good memory, Hetudnya, knower of cause. What is the cause of the particular disease? Yuktidnya, know the planning and treatment and logical interpretation. How a drug, how a nidan, how a chikitsa can be done in a case. Okay, Jitendriya, self-controlled, conquered his own senses, all the. And Pratipattimanam, presence of mind, that is we call common sense. Pratipattimanam, presence of mind, or decisive nature. Everything means small to small point he must know. Pratipatti jnanam. This is the all the physician means the properties of the qualification of the Vaidya. So let me finish with the chapter conclusion. So final Ashtavinshati iti Yavagvaha Parikirtita, total 28 Yavagu have been described. The collection of medicine, Bhaishajya Sangra, is described relying on the Panchakarma. So we have to do Panchakarma. In this case, this 28 Yavagu, after doing the Panchakarma, we may use the this all depend upon Matra and Kala. So Matra Kala Vicharayana. Here there are some 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Total 8 groups are they given at one place in single slide so that you can go through it. Let me go through it. This is the Lagu Panchamul, Vatajatisar, Pitta Sleshmatisar, Raktatisar, and Amatisar. These are the some related with the one thing. And here they are the mnemonics are given. Now this is the group 2. We can see the group 3. In group 3, this is Vatanulumni, Sangrahi, Rechaki, and Snehanartha. Group 4 it has Kas, Hikka, Swas, Kantharog, Vishamjwar, Pukshanartha. Group 5, it is Karshaniyam, Bruhaniyam, Varahamamsa, Kshudanashak, and the other yogas are there. Group 6 basically deals with the Mutrakrucha, Vishagni, having this Kantakari, Phanita, and here group 7, Madhar, Krumigni, Ghrutvyapatnashini, Talvyapatnashini. And in group 8, you can see the Retu Margaruja, Hara, Vajikaran, and Trushna Samak. And here are the some content. So just reviewing this small one slide, you can go through the all other slides. Okay. So here we end with the Apamarga Tanduli Adhyay. Hope you get it. Soon after this chapter, you will pop up with the some other question related with this question. You can solve this question and know your you can take a challenge to whether how much you have understand with this chapter. Thank you.